Are you looking to start your very own internet radio station or radio network? Do you need a reliable, high-bandwidth, dedicated server? ReliaStream offers some of the lowest rates on the web. ReliaStream supports Shoutcast, Icecast, and iTunes radio broadcasting. We are so confident you will love our services. We even offer a free 15-day trial. You will also enjoy our free top-rated customer service, free live support, and low-cost dedicated servers. Visit www.reliastream.com. That's reliastream.com to get started.
You're tuned in to Rebooting Liberty.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world on the internet, we're coming to you live from the CCRS studios, WNJC 1360. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with your host, Rick Trader. The Conservative Commandos radio show, where the newsmakers go to be heard. You can call the Conservative Commandos radio show at 856-227-1360. Your opinion counts at 856-227-1360.
This is Congressman Alan West, and you're listening to the Conservative Commando Radio Show.
Hey, thanks for being with us. You are listening to the Conservative Commandos Radio Network. It's Monday, 2nd of November. We just had All Saints Day, just following Halloween. There is a full-blown El Nino in effect, and here in the Mid-Atlantic in the first week of November, it feels like, well, mid-September. I'm just delighted to be joined in the studio today by not only keyboard extraordinaire, that's Mateo, the man with one name, Mateo, but also our show's founder and inspiration. That is none other than Rick Trader. Rick?
Well, Kevin, it's great to be with you. It's great to have you here, and it is just slightly after 3 o'clock, and you're here, and you know what that means, Kevin?
That means it's Monday.
Well, that also means you turn your clocks back. Saturday night, somebody in the Wade household went all the way around and reset all those clocks.
There's also some gremlins who actually seem to know when the time has to change, and they change the time automatically. It's except for the alarm, the grandfather clock with the spring. Apparently, grandfather doesn't know that the time is changing automatically. I took care of that yesterday.
And the clock on the computer, that changed automatically.
Sure did.
It's a great thing. And, you know, they always talk about, oh, you're going to get an extra hour of sleep. Well, all that means is I get up an hour earlier, you know.
That hour seems to disappear. I was looking forward to it, but our church happened to have their service an hour earlier yesterday for reasons
they didn't reset their clock.
I'm not quite sure of.
They didn't.
So I lost that hour, and this morning I've been scrambling because it's Monday and there's some business to be done and some radio show prep to be done. But it's great to be here with you, Rick.
Great to have you with us. And Kevin, you're right about this. It is the 2nd of November. It's a really nice day. I am wearing shorts and a T-shirt today. My attire for the summer, but I love the fall. The fall is my favorite.
We haven't turned the heat on at home yet. We have not turned the central heating on yet.
We haven't had ours on either. We have these little gas heaters, which are great, you know, in the rooms that we spend the most time in. We'll turn them on occasionally, but we usually don't turn central heat on anyway till around Christmas.
Well, you're pretty
we are conservatives.
No, it's one of the guiding principles in the Wade homestead. That we do not turn on the heat till the first day of November.
Well, I'll tell you,
I've been preaching this gospel for 30 years. And it's only worked this year. This is the first year when I haven't come home at the end of the day to find the central heat is on, in spite of my many lectures about not turning on the central heat until the 1st of November. But it's because it's been so mild.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I do want to warn you about one thing, since you don't turn your heat on till at least November 1st. Never invite Mateo to your house. Because,
why is that?
Well, Mateo likes, if it's not 80 degrees, it's not Mateo.
Oh, you got to toughen up, Mateo. You have to toughen up now.
You know, in the summertime, I come into the studio.
You got to think of the pioneers breaking through the Appalachians, crossing the prairie, leaning into the blizzards. Come on.
Yes. In the summertime, when I come into the studio, if there hasn't been anyone in here all day, I'll turn on the air conditioning. By the time Mateo gets here, why is it always so cold in here? Well, it's the way it's supposed to be. 70 degrees.
Mateo has a lean frame, listeners. He has a lean frame, whereas Rick and I can say that we've got more than our share of blubber to get us through the Arctic weather.
They say, whoever they are, Kevin, okay, that the cooler you keep your house, the better it is for weight control. So at the size I'm on now, it's going to be
Can
a
I
toasty.
Use that at home tonight?
It's going to be a toasty 40 degrees in our household all winter to get rid of all this fat that I've accumulated throughout the summer.
I'll go home tonight and say, hey, baby, to keep the thermostat down, you lose weight faster.
We've just given all the men in America a hint,
a new strategy.
To save electric, to save gas, save oil, however way they.
Well, I'll tell you. We've got this. We have incredible amounts of natural gas coming out of the ground, 100 miles west of here, up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, in the Marcellus Shale Formation. It comes out at the lowest cost in the world. They're trying to find customers, and for some reason, I don't see my natural gas prices drop at home. Now, where's this disconnect? Well, I know what the disconnect is. The disconnect is there's a liberal politician between that cheap natural gas and my energy bill. And he's helping me. That liberal politician, he's helping me. He's helping keep this world safe, okay?
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't seen my natural gas prices to heat my home drop by 2/3 in the same way that price at the wellhead has just 100 miles to the west of here, Rick.
Amen to that. And if it was up to them, of course, their idea of energy is everything has to come from what they call renewables, which means solar and wind. And I posted something up on my Facebook page over there. Actually, I posted a few things on my Facebook page. One is global warming 2015 and Arctic actually gaining ice. And that's one thing. And then another thing, wind energy several times as expensive as conventional sources. That's from Heartlander magazine. Yeah, the liberals want you to pay like 4 to 5 times more for gas and electric, and that's their idea of progress.
It's good for you, Rick.
Yeah, good for you.
It's good for you.
Yeah, sure.
Why should you have money in your pocket? Just think of it. How foolish is that? How selfish is that when there are liberals who need every penny they can scrape together from the taxpayers because they have one more big government plan? So who are you, Rick Trader, to want to keep $1 in your pocket?
I don't know. If we have a second, let me just go over this apples for apples comparisons on what it cost. Existing coal, it costs $38.4 per megawatt hour. Okay,
$38.4. $38.40. Okay.
$38.4. Natural gas is $48.9. And when you talk about the cheap natural gas, I would like to know why the natural gas isn't more competitive with coal. Okay, nuclear. If you want a cheap, clean source of energy, nuclear is $29.6 per megawatt hour. Wind. Would you like to know what wind is?
Well, that would be free, Rick.
Oh, well, it's not so free.
Al Gore told me that would be free.
Well, it's not so free. Okay, free to Al Gore would be $112.80.
Wait a second. The wind is free.
Yeah.
Rick, the wind is free. You said that coal was $38.40.
Right.
Natural gas was about $44.
$48.
$48. And now you're telling me that wind, which is free, is over $100?
$112.80 for a megawatt hour.
Someone hasn't been honest with Kevin Wade.
Oh, well, guess they lied to you again.
I can't believe it. The liberals?
Yeah, we're from the federal government, and we're here to help you.
And your check's in the mail.
Right. Kevin, do we want to go over? Do you have a commentary for us today?
I have a commentary.
Yes.
I have a commentary in praise of the Republicans in Washington last week.
Wow. All
Well,
right.
maybe not. Maybe that was sarcasm, but you'll hear it after we come back from the break in about what time we're going to the break?
About 17. Another 3 minutes.
Hey, we have a great show lined up, Rick.
Indeed.
You want to walk us through who our 335 guest is?
Okay, our 335 guest is Andrew Harrod. He's a freelance researcher and writer who holds a PhD from the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy. And Andrew is going to be joining us to discuss an article that he has written. The Jewish state is apparently a greater threat to America than anything emanating from the Muslim world. And I think there's a little bit of sarcasm there on behalf of Andrew. And I believe you have the 405 guest.
Yeah, our 405 guest is Mr. David Stevenson. He's Policy Director for Energy Competitiveness at the Caesar Rodney Institute. And he has been applying a critical conservative eye to energy policy, not only in the first state of Delaware, where from I hail, but also across the country. And he's going to be speaking to us about the latest in the Clean Air Act standards, the EPA Clean Power Standard, and why this plan, this power plan from the EPA, just might be illegal, and how states may push back at the same time they comply. So we're going to hear about this strategy from Mr. David Stevenson, Policy Director for the Center for Energy Competitiveness at the Caesar Rodney Institute. That's at 4:30. That's at 4:05, and then at 4:35, who do we have coming in?
Well, at 4:35, we have Fred Lucas, who's the White House correspondent for theblaze.com, and he's also the unofficial White House correspondent for the Conservative Commandos radio show. But before joining the Blaze, Fred worked at cnsnews.com, and Fred is also the author of the book The Right Frequency, the story of the talk show giants that shook up the political and entertainment establishment. Fred is going to be joining us to talk about one of his writings on the Blaze. Law enforcement warns of dire consequences that will follow the first wave of Obama administration's mass prison releases. Apparently, the Obama administration isn't done screwing America. It wants to release prisoners. It reminds me of what Fidel Castro did when he emptied all his cells and sent those people to the United States.
Well, now we see that Barack Obama and Fidel Castro both share the same goal. How can they hurt America?
Empty the prisons.
And looking at a blog on thehill.com, and apparently Senator Marco Rubio's star is rapidly rising in New Hampshire. He's surged into third place. I don't want to overstate it. Not first, not second, but third place.
Mm-hmm.
And seems that the voters up in New Hampshire, I think that's called the Granite State, are responding to his message. He does give a good speech. He is an optimistic fella and good looking to beat.
Well, I certainly do hope he does not get the nomination. He's not my choice by far.
We're coming to you live from the Conservative Commandos Radio Network Studios, WNJC 1360 AM, our flagship station in Philadelphia, and around the world on the internet at CPR Worldwide Media, Leading Edge Radio Network, TalkStream Live, The Pundit Press, SHR Media, K98 Talk, iHeartRadio, Roar Radio, and AM, FM 24/7. Stay tuned. We're going to take a break, but we're going to come back on the other side about 3 minutes from now.
They say I'm crazy. I really don't care. That's my prerogative. They say I'm nasty, but I...
The Conservative Commandos radio show is expanding to become the Conservative Commandos Radio Network. We are establishing a front line of conservative radio broadcasters and ironclad patriots to declare war against the madness of liberalism and the Obama administration. Are you tired of the disregard for our Constitution? Do you still have faith in the American dream? Are you looking for sensible, smart radio? If so, listen to the Conservative Commandos Radio Network every weekday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on WNJC Radio, 1360 on your AM dial, or around the world on the internet at WNJCradio.com. Check out our website, ccrsnetwork.com, for rebroadcasts and network updates. We are the Conservative Command.